Hello, hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Shining Force Sword of Hajya. We are facing off against Barbara, and including this battle, there's only 4 more battles left in the game. So we are really getting to the end now. I also almost forgot that in this map, we find the other secret character. The samurai Rush, who was hiding in this statue for some reason. I'm Rush, a samurai. He's very upfront. I also don't know why he's bright purple. I don't know if he's like... Is he also one of the devils? They're purple. So, like, maybe he's one of the devils who got bored of his lifestyle as a devil and was like, I'm gonna go become a samurai and hide in statues. I've heard of the fanatical Iom and have come to fight. Or maybe this is like an internecine war between the devils. He's like, Iom went too far. Allow me to join your group. I'll be at headquarters. He's also apparently quite strong in his spells and stuff, but I also don't use him either because, you know, I like the party I have, honestly. And just story characters are my faves. But we got him for completeness' sake, so now we have the whole cast. I think that is probably one of the secret character. I'm pretty sure I did get him as a kid, because like the search button will pop up automatically if there's something to find, and you might very well just have a character end up standing in front of that statue just because that's where they ended their turn. So you could find him much more easily by accident, I would say. Because, like, the statue is right where you start, so odds are you're moving past it anyway. Yeah, we're just gonna go to the right. I'm not even really concerned about killing all the enemies or whatever. We're fine on levels. It's funny, the guide I'm using is, like, make sure to get everyone up to at least level 6 in this battle, and I'm like, apparently I over-leveled a bit at some point, which is funny because I was under-leveled, according to this guide, for a lot of the game. Until the level where I was like, this is the grindy level, I guess, and just promoted everyone. Just gonna, like, super casually wander around. This tile set, the color scheme reminds me of the Shining Force 2 shrines. Like, where we fought, like, the Talos and stuff. I wonder if they use some of the same, like, graphical assets. The games are in different systems, though, but... You know, maybe they were like, it looked good, we'll do something similar. I don't know. Yeah, Shining Force, each of the games has some secret characters. It's like a characteristic feature of Shining Force. A samurai and a ninja have appeared in multiple games as well, so it's just like also a hallmark of the Shining Force series. Although Domingo does not appear in this game. Have a lack of Domingos. It's a very nice battle background. Yeah, the color scheme like matches the overall look of the map very well, kind of like very neoclassical. You know, it genuinely looks like a good match for the back walls. Just moving up. Just so far, this is a very leisurely battle. I think I'm finding it kind of soothing because I'm thinking of the musical like arrangement that was for the shrines in Shining Force 2, which was like a very soothing, like low-key, kind of mysterious number. Which is not what's in the background here, but it's like bringing it to mind, and I'm like, ah, yeah, that was a good song, very soothing. Start fighting this Dullahan. Dullahan was also a boss in Golden Sun. I think it's like, I'm assuming it's some kind of like an actual mythical thing from, I think it's from like Greek mythology or something, because if multiple video game series have an enemy called that, it's presumably they all got it from somewhere. Not just cribbing it from each other. Oh yeah, well I probably should have given him the halberd since Dawn doesn't need it now, but whatever. That's fine. We'll get around to it. Probably I'll do it between episodes. I think this will be the last episode today because I need to wrap up and go to bed at some point. I feel like, you know, if I end up having to like have a bit of a long day at work, then like it makes the entire rest of the day feel so short and rushed. It's so stressful. Plus it sucks because like my roommate was saying this as well, it like simultaneously felt like a short and a long day because it felt like such a long day because like I'm exhausted and I worked for a really long time, but it sort of felt like a short day in the fact that There's still so many more things I really need to get done. It's just, it feels like there's never enough time. I guess that's just adult life, though. Oh man, some coins. That's honestly pretty disappointing. That is not useful. Because like we can easily get coins just from killing enemies. Well, it's better than the hole in the head, I guess. There's not even that much left to buy. We're like at the end of the game. Maybe there'll be one more set of weapons for the end or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have to reshuffle the stuff I found in chests because we found the other archer weapon and I didn't actually give it to people yet. Yeah, well, this will be the last episode of the day, so I'll like break between episodes, I guess. And, you know, go back to the camp and whatnot. Oh, I'm just feeling super chill in this episode because it's like, you know, it's the end of the day here. I don't know what the Taros is. Seriously? His axe has an insta-death on it? That insta-death never works when we do it, and it works instantly for him. That's pretty bullshit, I gotta say. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. There was literally nothing we could have done about that. It was not strategic. I feel like letting enemies use insta-death spells on us in this game is just like, why would you do that? That's not fun at all. It's just annoying. And it just feels especially bullshit because, again, that spell basically never works when we've used it. I've tried it like twice just to see if it would ever work. It doesn't. Gonna just definitely go ahead and call complete bullshit on that. Oh, I didn't realize the sorcerer had this much movement range, or the demon master rather. See, imagine how awful this was in the original game, where this would be an instant kill for like half my army, and instead of being a plus shape, it would be that 3x3 one from Bolt 2, so it would just be the entire force. Cause like that was a decent sized amount of movement that sorcerer had. Yeah, I feel like this definitely needs to be the last episode of the day, because I feel like both my tiredness level and my crankiness level are slightly too high now. But you know, it's like, we're so close to the end, I want to finish it up. And then we'll do Shining Force Final Conflict, which I looked at like like the first bit of that to like, I think like last year, to make sure that it would like run properly and stuff. And I think that was also a Game Gear game because the graphics were pretty awful. So it won't look quite as nice as this one. And also from what I've read, like, the plot doesn't really make that much sense because it sounds like from what I understand, it was a game, it's set between, basically it's like it's like set right after Shining Force 1 and before Gaiden, obviously. And I guess it's supposed to like bridge those games, but from having like read the plot summary, it pretty much doesn't, and just it sort of introduces some plot holes, honestly. It's like, what on earth is this? Doesn't make sense. But I'm sure that will be interesting. The Evil Claw, I wonder if that's for like Luke, I guess, because it's a glove weapon. Not that we'll be equipping it, but with it being cursed. But yeah, the plot sounds somewhat bizarre. Which is a little bit of a bummer, because when I first heard of it, I thought at first that it might be a game that explains, if you remember, if someday there will be some viewer, some hypothetical viewer, who is such a loyal fan that they've watched all of these, which it's hard for me to imagine that such a person will ever exist, but you know, the world is wide. There's what, fucking 7 billion people? Maybe there is such a person, but if such a person ever exists, I'm sure they will recall from Shining Force 1 that at the end, we're all in like the final dungeon, basically. We have to seal Dark Dragon, but then the dungeon like starts collapsing, and the hero, his official name is Max. Max, his hand is like stuck to the ceiling sword, like the Force sword or whatever, the Chaos sword. Oh, goddammit, I meant to heal Luke, but so I always think the curse is going to proceed in like order of adjacency, but it has like its own weird logic. But anyway, so he's trapped there, and he uses egress to send everyone else to safety, but he himself can't escape because he's like trapped holding the sword. And then the party is really sad, but like but they're all like, you know, we can't accept he's gone. Maybe someday we'll meet again. But then the ending, we actually see him again, and it's not totally clear when the ending is set. It seems like maybe it's in the future, but he's like just like wandering along, and this guy's like, hey, who are you? There's no one around here usually. And then he's just like, I'm just resting a while. I want to rest a while or whatever. Wow, Barbara's wearing a much stupider outfit than I realized. She's wearing like basically some sort of metal bikini, giant spiked metal shoulder pads, and a cape and like boots. That's real stupid looking. That's a peak video game outfit right there. But and then we see Adam the robot in that same shot. Natasha may get killed here, but you know, she made a good initial attack. Like, look how dumb that looks. And why is the shaft of the axe, like the pole, bending as she swings it? What kind of shitty ass axe would bend when you attack with it? What's going on with the blade at the end? It's like square. It's like a guillotine blade, but it's on an axe, so it doesn't work. Like, her entire character design is so strange. It's just like a series of nonsense choices. She's got like little horns on her head too that also appear to be made of the same metal as her armor. Man, well, I kind of knew that would happen, but I gotta say, that was pretty bullshit also. She got 2 attacks in a row, and if she had done hit with both, and they both dealt 22 damage, that could one-shot a lot of her characters. That's absurdly powerful. But whatever, you know. This game doesn't punish you very much for dying, so I'm kind of fine just Zerg rushing her down, sacrificing all of our dudes. We can res them all. These like Chimera enemies are also no joke. Their fire breath just destroys. Our magic is worse than it, which is frustrating. Man, everyone's getting second attacks. This feels a little like a little much. It feels like these enemies are just a little over the top. I guess we should bait them out one by one, but still, it's like, geez, you're all getting double attacks and shit. I forgot that cleric was there. Got a little distracted, but whatever. I guess let's start tagging the cleric then. But yeah, so then we see that we're seeing like Adam is there too, and I'm trying to remember if like Adam was indeed like. Oh, I gotta make sure not to use up all of Ben's MP because Natasha died, so he's the only one with egress, but you know, this is such a perfect bolt opportunity. I can't pass it up. I wish it did slightly more, considering how much it costs. It really ought to do more. Like, seriously. Well, at least we got a critical hit, I guess. That's okay. Oh, very nice. But yeah, I can't remember if it was like suggested that Adam had also stayed behind with Ben in like the temple or whatever. So my first thought when I saw the cutscene was like maybe this is like in the distant future because Adam's a robot, like he'll live fucking forever or whatever. And then maybe Ben was like while he was trapped down there, like, you know, he doesn't age or something. So this is like long after he's like returned and like seeking peace or whatever when he escapes. Like he's weary from battle and or whatever. Which was a cool concept. I was like, this is neat, and yet it's also mysterious because it's kind of like, how did he escape? How long has it actually been? Where is he? What's going on here? And it wasn't really explained at all. So I was like, maybe this game will like basically explain all of that, kind of like bridge that. But apparently it does not. It just like retcons a couple things to make it make less sense. Which is like, sure. Yeah, she can cast Blaze 3 with her axe. Which again, look at the pole of the axe. It's like it's made of rubber. It's like a pool noodle. What kind of weapon is like that? Ah. Raises a lot of questions. I'm gonna actually, yeah, that should. I want to make sure I get Ben in there. It's important to keep him alive. Hooray for Aura. But yeah, so the plot of Shining Force Final Conflict seems fairly stupid, and the name also doesn't make sense because it is not the final conflict that the Force is involved in. But it sure does exist. So we will play it. in recognition of its noted existence. There's so many freaking monsters in a very small space here. It's kind of a pain. How annoying. Like, look how many freaking monsters there are. There's just fucking piles of them. I assume you weren't really supposed to rush in and just aggro them all simultaneously, but like, what am I, made of time? Like, you know, gotta get a move on. I'm fully aware this is like the stupidest way to approach this battle. You can really see my impatience here, and also the fact that I am like kind of tired, and it's like the end of the day. It's nighttime actually. It's well past the end of the day, so I'm like, ah, fuck it, let's just rush in. Also, shout out to Ben for now being so strong that he could just one-shot that guy. I'll just keep focus firing Barbara, you know. Game really wants me to target some other enemies. It's like, look at all these other enemies. Don't you want to fight them first? No, I don't, game. I want to finish the level. I don't got all day here. Oh, I will let May come in for like the big one. I mean, when you have a perfect opportunity to use Bolt 2, you've simply got to use it, right? Even if like fucking everything resists magic practically now, so it doesn't even do that much. It's just too perfect of a setup not to. It really feels like it ought to do more when you consider how costly it is. 15 MP is really no joke. Maybe I'll have Dawn attack someone else just because, like, she's so high level. It feels silly to have her to be the boss. She's already ridiculously strong. Let's have him attack with the Power Sphere. He can fight this Chimera. I think he'll finish it off. Very nice. The party is very strong. I'm very pleased. Our wizards obviously are kind of our, like, honestly they're the weakest element, but I just like them so much, you know? I recognize that, like, if I replaced May and Natasha with Higgins and Rush, that would definitely increase our overall power, but they've been in the party this whole time. I like them a lot, you know? They're our buddies. I can't just kick them out. Her design really is amazingly stupid. And, like, are those, like, metal boob cups just glued to her boobs? There doesn't appear to be any straps or anything. Wouldn't that be incredibly uncomfortable to wear? They're also black, so if you go out in the sun, it's like they would get so hot. That would be, like, the least pleasant thing. It's just... And she has, like a deep V-cut, like, panties or something, which, again, just seems really not practical for battle and not particularly comfortable. She's like, I want to go fight people in melee with this giant axe. Well, and I need ginormous shoulder pads because I got to keep my shoulders safe. But nothing else on my body requires any armor at all. Just like, Final Fantasy, the old Final Fantasy games have this going on too, where characters have like these giant spiky shoulder pads, and then like a bathing suit, and that's it. Like, it's the most baffling sartorial choice because like why it's the combination that's weird to me. If you have just like tons of spiky armor overall, sure. If you're just wearing like a weird, just, you know, video game sexy outfit, whatever, that's certainly nothing new, right? But the combination of these two things to create a situation where you're somehow wearing spiky shoulder pad armor combined with a stupid, like, bikini outfit is like... what thought process would give you both of these items of clothing instead of following one or the other? Alright, there we go. I've been defeated! But you still have to face Warder and Iom's power. You can't possibly get the prince back. I mean, maybe not, but you're still dead, so what do you care? Like, really, how does it benefit her that even if we couldn't win, like, you lost? Ben, go after Warderer. Hold it right there. Oh no, the enemy is behind us. This is all our fault for not defeating everyone on the map. We left that one Minotaur behind. He went for reinforcements. I can't allow you to enter the shrine. I'll finish you here. Say your prayers. Not so fast, Solo. This was totally baffling to me. I don't even remember this part as a kid. Like, it was so non-relevant to me, but... Because as a kid, when I played this game, I had no idea who this character was. Because he's from Gaiden 1, but now I'm like, hey, you're back! What? Also, I don't know why he's talking to Solo. Because, like, Solo is dead. The translation seems to have gotten very strange here. A, Solo's dead. B, look, it's Scavenger from Guardiana. It's not Scavenger. That's Lug, right? From the first game, the Gaiden game. We saw him, right? His sprite looks very familiar. Actually, the only thing I'm not sure about is whether he's not Lug. He's the guy who was in the party, the child of Lug, or maybe his name was Lug, because it was like his dad was like Roog or something, and we thought maybe he was Luke's kid, but yeah, he's not Scavenger. Scavenger is the name of one of the enemies. I'm kind of wondering if like a text bank got mixed up here or something. Scavenger also is not his character class. Yes, Mayfair, I've made it just in time. This doesn't concern Guardiana, because remember, like, at the very beginning of the game, it was like Guardiana and Cypress are setting out together, but Warder wanted to attack because the Guardiana army wouldn't be ready by the time Cypress reached him, so they'd be, like, separated, but now they caught up. And that's not Scavenger, it's Lug. This doesn't concern Guardiana. Cypress is our ally. We've come to fight by their side. Man, I wish I could one-shot the sorcerers. Hurry, Mayfair, save the prince. I'll fight these two random enemies. Thank you, I won't forget this. Also, apparently Shining Force only sent one person to help us. Hurry, let's save the prince, because we don't recruit anyone else from Guardiana. Which is kind of wacky, but they did show up to help us at the end. Very nice. Oh nice, we can res our various dead friends. Oh yeah, because Slade got killed by that one-shot attack, which was super bullshit. This is also a good time for us to shuffle our items around before we wrap. Because then there'll only be 3 more battles. Claude was dead. Oh right, he got killed too by like, there were like 50 dudes that just all attacked him at once. It was a little ridiculous. I recall being annoyed by that. Oh, and we can talk to our new friend, Higgins. Or we already got Higgins, to Rush. Oh, don't you understand what samurai is? Then I'll teach you after dinner. Wait, does it say after dinner or after the dinner? It says, oh, don't you understand what samurai is? Then I'll teach you after the dinner. Rush doesn't seem to understand what grammar is. But yeah, let's just take a quick look at him. So he also came in at level 9. Our characters are notably over-leveled. He's very, very strong. He has the samurai sword, which I'm pretty sure is unique to him. No one else can wield it. He has 60 attack. He's pretty powerful. He's actually fairly tanky at 37 defense, and he's good agility, so he's very strong, certainly. But we're not using him because, it's just more fun to use the characters who, like, are part of the story, so we've, like, kind of been together this whole time. That's how I feel, anyway. Room to term. Alright, since Dawn now has the Valkyrie, she does not need the halberd, and we can instead give that to Eric, for whom it is a pretty nice upgrade. And I guess he can toss the Chrome Lance over to fucking whoever. Here, Randolph can carry it around. And beyond that, I am pretty sure... Oh, and she also doesn't need the spear either. Not the middle orb, the spear. I changed the hand that was holding it. It's kind of funny that they let you do that. She's like, she changed the hand that was holding it. That was funny. I actually want to see that again. Let's have Randolph give this to himself. Randolph changed hand to hold the Chrome Lance. That's kind of funny that they put a use case, that they put a specific like response case for that, which is like such a random thing. Like, why did they even let you do it? We'll give it to Graham because Chester's a little stronger right now. Man, Chester's a lot better. I mean, Graham has higher movement because he is a horse. He's not on a horse. He is a horse. So maybe to balance that, he has lower attack, slightly lower attack, and notably lower defense. But wow, Chester's a beast. So tanky. Healing rain. I forgot Chester has the dark sword, which basically just casts magic. So whatever. Oh, and the Axe of Atlas, which I guess we'll give to Jaha. It's a teeny tiny upgrade, but it casts spells too. At this point, we're like getting so many items that I'm like running out of room to store them all. We have too many good items. That's quite a thing. I guess let's check if anyone else can use a samurai sword. I don't think they can, but nope, I was correct. They cannot. And I guess that was pretty quick. So let's watch the cutscene at the start of the next battle. Then we can jump into battle next time. We kind of rushed through that one. It was much more difficult as a kid when I had to deal with Freeze 3. Pant, pant. What an enormous shrine! Just kind of looking around for Prince Nick. It's very grayscale. It kind of looks like it's like a Frozen in Time palette. Quite. Keep looking. Quite what? Is she just talking to herself? She's like, oh, it's enormous. Oh, quite. She's used to the fact that main characters never talk, so she has to fill the silence. Wait, listen. I hear them up ahead. The Cyprus army. How far you've come. That voice, I've heard it before. Oh, this is actually Hindle, I think. Oh, no, it's... Oh. Yeah, this is from Waldall from the previous game. You know, this explains why... When I played through Shining Force Gaiden 1, I was like, oh, Waldall, I think he's in the next game too. He seemed vaguely familiar. And then when he died, I was like, then when I started this one, I thought I had confused him with Warderer, because I was like, oh, I must have been thinking of Warderer, not Waldall, because they both have a W. But I wasn't wrong. You do fight Waldall in this game. He comes back, and the reason I was confused is because when I played it as a kid, this obviously seemed like it came out of fucking nowhere. So I just vaguely remembered it. I didn't connect it. Ahem, me. I was Cyprus's former ambassador, Waldall. He's apparently turned into some sort of like the White Walker or something. Also, he was Cyprus's ambassador? So, but he was working for Iom, so why is Iom now a separate country? No, it can't be. Waldall died. But now, now I'm kind of trying to remember if this is like... I have to check in the guide I'm using, because the guide I'm using is from I think that... Actually, no, it's from this version. I'd have to go back and check what's in the Genesis version, because, like... Was this in the Game Gear version? Do I just not remember it? Or, because I'm like, did this actually... Maybe this was added to the remake? But, I have no idea. I feel like they didn't really add anything. It probably wasn't the original. You're absolutely correct. After defeat and death, my soul couldn't rest. He did sort of imply that he'd be back to hound us again. Because he turned into like a weird scorpion thing, didn't he? It was very weird. I've come back from death to let you feel my pain and suffering. Yeah, but I really do not remember this battle at all. Like... This is not ringing any bells. Oh, you know what? I said that, but actually, when I looked at this specific square, I do remember this. Because I remember a map with the chest here and the Dullahan in front of it and having to go around the edge to get the chest, and there was a wizard. I don't remember anything else. Like, I think the tile set looks fairly different from the Game Gear version, which may be what's throwing me off. But I do actually recognize the placement of the chest. The floor appears to be mirrored because you can see the chests and stuff in it. But yeah, I recognize that. I totally forgot that we fought Death Waldall here. But I think I just didn't remember it because like this enemy, if you didn't play the previous game, this enemy just kind of comes out of nowhere and it's like, oh, it's just, I don't know, it's a monster. So it's like, we have some new enemies. The Assassin, we have the Evil Bishop who has Aura 3, Joy of Joys. Have the Wyvern to replace our various flying pests. More Dullahans. Still got the Chimera. More Taros. But Yeah, I'm guessing we'll probably split the party in two and kind of go up either side. I don't remember. I literally the only thing that's familiar about this battle is having the chest on the side, and I really think it's because the graphics look different in the original, because I recognize the layout, but it doesn't look anything like I remember the map looking like. I don't think it had this mirrored floor effect. That's not familiar to me at all. But yeah, Waldall has returned. We defeated him handily in the final battle of the previous game, but he has returned from beyond the grave to exact his vengeance on us. So we are going to have to send him back to the land of the dead, I guess. Thank you for watching, hypothetical viewers. I hope you enjoyed seeing us defeat Barbara and her absolutely ridiculous clothes. They're so silly. And in the next episode of Shining Force Sword of Hajya, we will face down Waldall.